Hey everybody, welcome to another video. I'm Mike B, and today we're going to be doing a fun one. The top 5 military surplus rifles for new collectors in 2023. Now, on the topic of military surplus firearms in general, I've made several videos covering this, but if you're newer to the channel or it's your first time watching, I'll just preface this with saying, for you new collectors that are just getting into the hobby or just got into it, I do feel for you. It really sucks that the hobby that I got into a lot because I didn't have a lot of extra cash to throw around in my late teens and early 20s is now so expensive. I consider just like a collector's market, like classic cars and things like that. But you can still get good deals. And for, you know, when you're comparing, like, do I just build a modern AR or get a modern firearm like a Savage Axis or something, just as an example, versus the collector / historical significance of a military surplus firearm, ammo availability, all that stuff. This list is one that I made that kind of takes all those things into consideration from what I've seen of prices, both in person and online, ammo availability. A lot of these depend on if you reload or not, or if you can get ammo for them at all. And I've just kind of ranked them in not any really particular order, but the ones that I think would be great for newer collectors that are on a budget and still want something that's a cool piece of history, and they can actually go out and take the range once in a while. So, number 5 on our list is going to be the Arisaka Type 99 short rifle. Now, I was considering the Type 38 in that series, but the ammo is a lot more difficult to find than it is to either find 7.7 by 58 or make it out of 30-06 shell casings if you do reload. I've done that before, yielded great results using 311 diameter bullets. Anyway, this Type 99 right here was my first rifle ever. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it back in the day because you'll cry. And anyway, these are still relatively cheap because of the old timers trope of Jap crap. They always thought that these were really bad, they were going to blow up, etc., because some guys use Type 38 training rifles with live ammo. Again, one person messes it up, their whole lot's not good, but that kept them really cheap for the longest time. So, something like this in this condition, just with like a ground mom and nothing really special about it. This is a really standard example of an early Type 99 that just got, you know, all the extra things, all the extra goodies thrown off and was a bring back. You're gonna be looking at about $350 for one of these like this. Yes, you can find them for cheaper and sometimes they're more expensive, but on average you can find one of these for $350. Now that's a pretty cool deal. Ammo does suck to get, but again, if you reload, it's really not that hard to make 7.7 by 58 millimeter out of 30-06 shell casings. So yeah, number 5 on our list is the Arisaka Type 99 short rifle. Number 4 on our list is hands down my favorite Mauser rifle variant ever created, the Swedish M96 Mauser in 6.5 by 55 millimeter. Now, I've made several videos on like what my favorite Mauser variants are and why, so if you want to go check those out, just search the channel. So I'm just going to kind of keep this nice and short. And for a new collector, this is a fantastic option. This has got to be one of the most user-friendly, smooth shooting, and accurate shooting, very flat flying bullet Mauser ever made. The action is super smooth. You get that nice small ring cock-on closing action with the nice knurled striker piece so you can actually decock this thing safely. And it's just a fantastic piece of engineering. Again, super user-friendly. The 6.5 by 55 millimeter is a very great round for people. It doesn't have a lot of recoil. Again, super accurate. And anyway, I'll stop kind of going on about why I think these are so good. But as far as the historical significance, there's really not a lot. Some of these were used by Finland in the Winter War and Continuation War. But as far as being a military surplus firearm, this did serve the Swedish Empire from the late 1800s through the 1950s in some capacities, mainly the 1940s, we'll just say that. So it's a very long-serving rifle for a reason. It's fantastic. I would highly recommend getting one of these. They retail for between $300 and $400 if you get lucky. Sometimes they're a little bit more. So, something in this kind of shape right here is going to be more around the lines of like $350. Absolutely great rifles, fantastic, and I would highly recommend a new collector get one of these in their collection. So number 3 on our list is something that's probably going to surprise you a little bit if you've kind of been used to the old bolt guns. And you're going to be like, well, these are really expensive, they're getting expensive, and yes, I agree with you, but I'm going to explain why this is going to be number 3 on the list. So this is a Chinese Type 56 surplus SKS rifle, chambered at 7.62 by 39 millimeter. Now, although these are getting more pricey and expensive, just like every other SKS, very like the Yugoslavian M59-66 is now pretty expensive. The Russian ones are very expensive. But anyway, these are still pretty available. You can get them in like kind of used shape, which I love, like this. This is a fantastic example. Very accurate, very good shooter still, which is fantastic. Anyway, these are good because A, you've got the ammo availability. 7.62 by 3.9 is extremely available, very affordably priced in my opinion. And you can get the clips for this too. And these rifles are very accurate, very reliable, and just fun to have. Now, these particular ones are from Albania, but the same kind of rifles did serve in the Vietnam War and around the world. You know, it's a Chinese Type 56. They were exported to a lot of different countries. So the historical significance is also there, and these can be had for, in this kind of shape, sub $500. You're looking at $4-ish, the range for something in this condition. A little bit nicer one's going to probably be around the $500, which is still pretty good, considering that if you get a semi-automatic civilian rifle chambered in 7.62 by 39, it's it's going to be at least $500 anyway. So like if you're building an AR, you know, with all the mags and all that stuff and the upper, it's going to run you a lot like that. So this one's also got the historical significance, and it's a great shooter, super affordable, and it's just a fun little rifle to have. Very user-friendly as well. Very good for new shooters and collectors alike because of the lack of recoil and the enjoyability. So number 3 on the list is the Chinese Type 56 SKS. And number 2 on our list, solidly, just like a lot of other videos that I've made that are similar to this in the past, for the past several years, is the Turkish M38, which is called the M38 variant Mauser rifle. These can also include the ones that were upgraded from like 1903 models and 1893 models in the 1930s. So they're going to have like at least 1930s dated barrels on them, but they might have an older receiver. I just call it the M38 variant. You can call it the 34 or whatever. Anyway, it's a Turkish Mauser. It's a long rifle. And these things, despite, you know, people blaming me for, oh, if you make videos like this, the prices are going to spike. The damage has already been done with that. And trust me, I don't have nearly enough pull to influence the market at all. So this is just something for if you're a new collector and you just happen to stumble upon my channel or you watch my stuff and you're finally getting into it. This is just information and FYI. It's, again, not going to influence the market like other certain YouTubers have. So while I'm flattered that you think I'm on that level and have that much influence, it's simply not true. So you guys can relax. So I've been making videos with these guys for, I think, 6, 7, 8 years now. And these are going to be in like the top whatever surplus rifles. And these are still sub $500. Now this is a Mauser 98 Action. A lot of them are going to be the smaller ring ones, but they still fire 8 by 50 or 7.92 by 57 millimeter, or better known as 8 millimeter Mauser, even though it's not really a Mauser cartridge, but we'll get past that. Anyway, so these things fire the 7.92 by 57 millimeter, which is a fantastic big game cartridge. Great target shooting cartridge. You can get both commercial and surplus stuff. I would not recommend the Turkish stuff because it's very hot because the powder is deteriorated over the years and it wasn't stored properly, but it's still, I've run it through these and haven't had problems, but not recommending it. But anyway, other surplus is also available, and these things eat up just about anything. So they might be a little bit more rough shaped than this, but don't let the looks deceive you. They're actually pretty good shooters for the most part. If you have any experience with the Turkish Mauser and you've gotten one over the past few years, let me know in the comments below. Something like this, well, this is a little bit special one, but just an M38 in this kind of condition, you could probably get for $350. You can get the more used looking ones for less than that. You can get them for probably $275 to $300. I have seen them going for around the $300 mark, which makes it still one of the most affordable surplus rifles on the market today. And it is not super historically significant because, again, Turkey wasn't in a lot of wars, but what you might not know is that UN troops from Turkey, when they arrived in Korea in 1950, were carrying the M38 rifle and had the leather Mauser ammo pouches until they were issued M1 rifles. So number 2 on our list is the Turkish M38 Mauser rifle. Number 1 on our list has been number 1 for the past couple years for a couple different reasons. It's going to be the Carcano Model 1891 Cavalry Carbine in 6.5 by 52 millimeter Carcano. So these things are still the most affordable military surplus firearms on the market today, on the primary market, right? So we're not talking like secondary, like if I were to be selling some of my pieces off for my personal collection, that's secondary market. Primary market is places like J&G Sales and other places that I've mentioned on here, Empire Arms, that are in the business of selling these things, and they actually got a huge shipment of these in 2020 from the Italian police, the word that I can never pronounce. It starts with a C. Yes, I know you're from Italy and you're going to be all upset, but I'm not even going to try to butcher that word. But these were all carbines that were in storage for a long time, but it's really cool because this one specifically dates 1894. So you've got different styles, and it was fun when you could just roll the dice and they'd go on sale for like $200. Right now you're going to be looking at between $200 and $250 for one of these, depending on the features, like the, you know, the old school bayonet release style like that. You might pay a little bit more for that now. But this was a crapshoot, and I actually got pretty lucky on this, and Anyway, I got quite a few of these a few years ago just to have in the collection. Sold the ones that I didn't want, like the dates that I didn't want. But anyway, this isn't about me, this is about you. So again, $200 for a military surplus firearm. So this is from 1894. There's a good chance this served in the First and Second World Wars in some capacity. And it was still taken care of very nicely. And they're interesting rifles. The clips are kind of fun to get. They make reproductions. Now, as far as the ammo availability, I'll just touch on that really quick and then we'll wrap the video up. So the ammo availability, Privy Partisan also makes one run of Carcano ammo, 6.5 by 52, I should have specified, per year, and it gets gobbled up really quick when it gets into the US because of this massive import a couple years ago. I would encourage you to not let that discourage you, because it will come back, it will level out. There are people in the US, companies in the US that are starting to make this caliber. Even if you can't shoot it for a couple years, I couldn't shoot my first Carcano for several years until I was actually old enough and had a little bit of money to buy a couple boxes and then go out and fire it. So I get what you're going through on that, but don't discourage it. Don't let that discourage you from actually getting the firearm in the first place. It's a fun, tangible piece of history. Got a lot of history to it, and they're very affordable right now. So go get yourself one of these if you haven't already, because they are starting to dry up from all the sources that I've seen and actually purchased from. So these do sell out. That's the thing with surplus, supply and demand. When the supply of these are gone, the demand's going to go up, so you might want to jump on the wagon right now if you can get one of these. So number one on our list is the Carcano Model 1891 Cavalry Carbine. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I do appreciate that. Again, these are just my opinions, my observations, and my personal kind of advice to newer collectors. Again, you guys are in a pretty rough spot. I understand that, and I don't like it at all, but it is what it is. So yeah, hopefully this helps. Let me know if you got any questions in the comments section. I'll try to answer them. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm not a guru, but I try to help out people that are either just getting into the hobby or trying to expand their collections in these modern lovely times, and that being a pretty much collector's market nowadays. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you want to support the channel financially so I can get ammo to shoot these things now because it's so expensive, you know, things like that, whatever. You guys can do that either becoming a Patreon supporter or a YouTube channel member. And at the $5 level a month or more, you get access to my Discord server, which is really fun. There's a lot of people on there, and we talk about things, talk about new acquisitions. So you get to see things that you guys don't get to see for a while. It's just a fun time. And anyway, you guys know how to do all that. And if you can't support me financially, I totally understand that. Just share this video out, do your thing. I appreciate it so much that you just watched it. And let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the next video.